What's up, everybody? Today we're going to look at Jayson Tatum making Celtics history and Aaron Nesmith reborn like Jesus Christ on a Sunday. Hallelujah. Let's break it down. I haven't done a Celtics podcast in well over a month. I think it's no secret at this point that I kind of hate this team this year. They're so depressing for a multitude of reasons. Watching them is like watching Jared Leto's arm fall off in Requiem for a Dream.
Oh, damn, Jim.
But just like heroin, I can't quit this team. And today, I want to share happy thoughts only. Well, almost only. Right after we get past how amazing the Celtics teamwork looked in the first two quarters of this game.
ครับที่ Audio Show in the World ที่เปิดฉากการแสดงความสามารถของผู้เราต่างชาติดนตรีของเราในถึงขนาดนี้มาเป็นที่ระดับสมบูรณ์ครับนำมาสู่ต่อเรื่องสิ่งที่ได้รับชมใหญ่ที่ขนาดนี้เลยทีเดียว
So yeah, if you survived the first two quarters against the Spurs, where the Celtics were down by 32 points at one point, then you were in for an incredible game. In the second half of this game, the Celtics just exploded. I mean, Jayson Tatum was incredible throughout, and I'm sure that this game is going to go down in history as the game where Jayson Tatum scored 60 points. It's an incredible achievement. I believe it's tied for the highest points in a game by a Celtic ever. I want to say that. I think Larry Bird also had 60. I'm not Dick Light, so I don't want to put my foot in my mouth, but you know, Tatum was spectacular, and he didn't do it in a cheesy way either. He didn't hit like 15 threes. He earned it. He went to the free throw line, 17 free throw attempts, which, you know, is something I've been harping on Jayson Tatum for a long time, about one of the last things that's left for him to really put into his arsenal to become a superstar player. Superstar players don't shoot 3 or 4 free throws a game. And, you know, he has been better about that at times, but this game really showed you the potential of what Jayson Tatum could do if he gets to the free throw line consistently. I mean, he was spectacular. He really was. And I don't want to take anything away from Tatum's achievements of scoring 60. But for me, what this game was the Aaron Nesmith game. Like, I'm not shocked that Jayson Tatum scored 60 points because he is an incredibly gifted offensive player who really looked up to Kobe Bryant. You know, you take 37 shots in a game, you might score 60 points sometimes. So while it was an incredible achievement for Jayson and really shows you why people are so high on his future potential as just an incredibly gifted and borderline unstoppable scorer in his future, this game was legendary for me, not only because of the crazy, crazy comeback, but just watching Aaron Nesmith, watching him be reborn on the basketball court. This game and the previous game against the Hornets is incredible. I love how this kid plays so much. He runs around at a million miles an hour. He's totally spastic. And when he's not falling down and bumping into things and you're worried about him splitting his head open, he's starting to make big plays. He reminds me so much of Mike Myers on Saturday Night Live when he played a hyperactive kid. I think we should christen him Aaron the Hypo. But seriously, let's track his career with the Celtics. So obviously, I looked at this kid pre-draft, and he was one of the 2 or 3 players that I had targeted that I really wanted the Celtics to draft. I was really excited about getting a shooter of his quality. And when we did draft him, I was thrilled, so happy. And then he's not playing, and we don't really know why. And Brad Stevens says something hilarious early in the year where he basically like references Aaron Nesmith not even being able to run up and down the court, which seemed like a crazy thing to say. But when we did eventually see Aaron Nesmith, we can see why Brad said that, because when Aaron started to finally get minutes, he looked awful. I mean, not like awful, like disengaged or, you know, his shot was bad, like awful, like I don't know if this guy knows how to play basketball. Like, he was absolutely lost. And so then he disappeared again. And eventually, maybe about halfway through the season, he reappeared. He got another chance. It almost seemed like people had been kind of complaining about where's Aaron, where's Aaron. And it almost seemed like Brad was going to say, okay, here's Aaron. We're going to give him like 20, 25 minutes a game. Here he is. And it was not great. He just was invisible out there most of the time. Honestly, it was like watching Patrick Swayze in Ghost on the basketball court. He didn't shoot. No one passed him the ball. Like, you could just see Tatum and Brown like didn't even know he existed on the team. I don't even think they knew his name. So after that, he disappeared again. And now he has reappeared again. But this time feels real. It's obviously premature. It's been 2 games, but he's had 2 really, really good games. And this one against the Spurs was far and away his career highlight. So previously against Charlotte, let's just take a look at the box score real quick. He played 31 minutes. He went 6 for 12 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3, 1 for 2 from the line. He had 9 rebounds, 3 steals, and 3 blocks with only 1 turnover. It was a +4 at 15 points. So the 9 rebounds really stands out. The 3 steals and 3 blocks really stand out because, coming into this draft, he was considered to be a shooter with a really pure stroke. He was not considered to be a great defensive player and not even necessarily considered to be like a really high energy guy, which is really what he's turned himself into. He plays 100 times harder than anybody else on the Celtics. And it is nerve-wracking sometimes and scary even. Like, you worry he's just going to knock everything over. But it's how he's earning himself minutes when he was not productive for most of the year. It's how he's ripping down 9 rebounds, which is really impressive. A lot of those steals he had and the blocks he had were basically him playing like free safety on the court, just hustle plays and playing really aggressive. So, him knocking down shots doesn't really shock me because that's what he got drafted for. He was considered to be arguably the best 3-point shooter in college basketball last year. And we hadn't seen that really. And we're just starting to see it. But the defensive stuff and the hustle plays and the rebounding, all of this stuff is just bonus. Like, we didn't know that this was going to be a thing for him. Now, in this game, he had 16 points, which doesn't seem like a big difference from his last game. But let me break down why this game was definitely his career highlight. So he went 7 for 9 from the floor, 2 for 3 from 3. He had 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 0 turnovers, and he was also a team leading +12. Now, what made this one so different? And I want to give Brad a little bit of credit here too. We were all joking about how Nesmith probably wasn't even going to play in this game because that's just how Stevens has been this year. A guy has a good game, then he disappears. The rotations just haven't seemed to make any sense. And we were all kind of worried that Nesmith would have that great game in Charlotte and then he would just disappear. But that wasn't the case. In fact, I want to really give Brad props because in the first half, Nesmith played and didn't really make an impact on the game. I think he hit 1 3-pointer and maybe had a couple of rebounds. So I think it would have been really easy for Brad then to say, okay, well, this is just not Nesmith's game. We're gonna yank him. But he didn't. He put him in the second half. And why this is so important, because in the second half, the Celtics were chipping away at this crazy 30-point deficit. They were starting to get back into the game. And all during this time when the Celtics were coming back, closing that gap, and then eventually overtaking them, Nesmith was playing minutes during that time, during important moments in this game. And he was the second best player on the court tonight behind Tatum. I think you could make an argument for Tristan Thompson, who was really a beast on the boards, but I think it was Nesmith. He made so many clutch plays, just like hustle plays, second chance putbacks, and big shots and big moments. I remember in the third quarter, there was one shot where, it was a big moment to minimize the lead, to shorten the lead. And Nesmith just took the shot with no hesitation and made it. And it was just so weird to see a player who literally 2 weeks ago Like you didn't ever expect him to play. You didn't even know if his teammates knew his name. They would never pass him the ball. And now they're like feeding him the ball in these huge moments in the game, and he's knocking down these shots with just complete confidence. It's a crazy thing to see. And I'm here for it because I've already kind of given up on this year. But to see there were moments in this game where, like, hugely important moments in this game where both Pritchard and Nesmith were both on the court at the same time, both of our rookie selections. So that's just something really, really great to see for our future, that the two players that we drafted are really starting to, well, Pritchard has all year, but Nesmith is really also starting to have an impact. So that was the Nesmith game for me. It was really, really amazing. 2 games in a row now he's played 30 minutes. I don't know if this is going to become a thing. I really hope that it is, that he's worked his way into the rotation. It's kind of funny how these things work, because this was who Nesmith was supposed to be when we drafted him, and he wasn't. And so then the Danny Ainge went out and made that panic trade for Fournier, basically because Nesmith didn't fill the role that he was supposed to fill. So they went out and got Evan Fournier to then fill that role. And now that we have Fournier, Fournier's been garbage. I mean, I don't want to be too hard on him because he's had COVID like 19 times, but he's been garbage. And now Nesmith is finally starting to fulfill the role that he was supposed to have in the first place. So kind of weird how that works out. But anyways, the game was absolutely insane against the Spurs. One of the largest comebacks. I want to say, again, I'm not Dick Light, but I want to say that was the largest comeback from a halftime deficit in Celtics history, down by 32, and then coming back to win. And a large part of it was due to Nesmith just playing like an absolute stud. But of course, Tatum dropping 60 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 block, 0 turnovers for Tatum as well. That might be the biggest stat of all of them outside of the free throws, was the fact that he turned the ball over 0 times as he's been loose with the ball all year. So amazing game for Tatum, amazing game for Nesmith. I actually really, really enjoyed watching this one. If you can survive the first half, it's well worth it to stick out for the rest of the game. So those are my thoughts on Aaron Nesmith. I'm just glad that he's finally sort of re-arrived, because this was a guy I was really excited about, and I felt kind of stupid all year because he was really making me look bad for being all excited about this pick. And now I'm starting to feel a little bit vindicated that maybe this is a guy who's going to be a player for us after all. So if you watch the game, or if you've been following Nesmith's recent developments, let me know in the comments below what you think about his game and how he's been playing lately, and whether or not you believe this is real or not. And I'll see you in another month for another Celtics podcast, maybe. All right. Later.